At 90 years old, Johnny Mathis lives alone in the same Hollywood Hills home he bought more than half a century ago. A house that survived fires, landslides, and time itself. His memory has begun to fade. Sometimes he forgets the songs that once made him a legend. But what's happening to Johnny isn't just about age. Behind his quiet final years lies a story of addiction, courage, reinvention, and a secret that haunted him for decades. Johnny Mathis was born on September 30, 1935, in Gilmer, Texas, to Clem and Mildred Mathis, a working-class couple struggling to survive the Great Depression. Clem, once a vaudeville pianist, had seen his own musical dreams crushed by racism. When his 3-year-old son began humming My Blue Heaven, Clem recognized something rare. A second chance through Johnny. He began teaching the boy every tune he knew, hoping music might open a door that had once slammed shut for him. In 1940, when Johnny was 5, the family joined the Great Migration, leaving segregated Texas for San Francisco's Fillmore district. They squeezed 7 children into one basement room on Post Street, but the world outside was alive with sound. The Fillmore, known as the Harlem of the West, pulsed with jazz and blues from every club. That rhythm shaped Johnny's soul. Clem saved $25, nearly $500 in today's money, to buy a battered upright piano. It didn't fit through the door, so he took it apart and rebuilt it inside their living room. Johnny stayed up all night watching, mesmerized. That piano became his universe. By 8, he was playing until dawn, his parents listening from the next room, too tired to stop him. But Johnny wasn't only a musician. At George Washington High School, he became a track star, leaping 6 feet, 5.5 inches despite standing just 5'7". His greatest rival was future NBA legend Bill Russell. Newspapers ranked them side by side. In 1954, Johnny missed the Olympic qualifying mark by just 3 inches. Around the same time, another invitation arrived. A telegram from Columbia Records offering a chance to record in New York. He had to choose. Chase Olympic gold or follow the music in his heart. He chose music. That choice changed everything. In 1955, at a smoky Sunday jam session at the Black Hawk Jazz Club in San Francisco, club owner Helen Noga heard him sing and instantly recognized his potential. She became his manager, persuading Columbia producer George Avakian to hear him perform. Within weeks, Johnny was on a plane to New York. He was still a student at San Francisco State College, studying to become an English and PE teacher, even serving as student body president. But once Columbia signed him, school had to wait. His voice, rich, effortless, and precisely trained by Bay Area vocal coach Connie Cox, was unlike anything the industry had heard. Cox had taught him for 6 years in exchange for chores around her house, drilling him in classical breathing and control. The result was a voice that could glide from baritone warmth to tenor clarity without a crack. In 1956, his debut single Wonderful, Wonderful, hit the charts, followed by It's Not For Me to Say in 1957, which reached the top 5. His first greatest hits album, released in 1958, became a phenomenon, spending 490 consecutive weeks, nearly 10 years on the Billboard charts. It sold more than 3 million copies and set a new standard for compilation albums. But success didn't protect him from racism. Touring in the 1950s, he was often barred from the hotels where he performed. In the South, death threats warned him not to appear on stage. During one concert, he kept moving while singing, chances are so he wouldn't become an easy target. That quiet bravery became his trademark. In 1958, he released Heavenly, a lush orchestral album that sold 500,000 copies and remained on the charts for nearly 6 years. Then came a surprise, a Christmas record. Soft-spoken and understated, Merry Christmas climbed to number 3 and became a perennial favorite, selling more than 5 million copies by the end of the century. For millions of families, Johnny Mathis' voice became the sound of the holidays. The 1960s brought change. Rock and roll was exploding, but Mathis' smooth romantic style still found an audience. He appeared repeatedly on ABC's Hollywood Palace, proving that his voice could hold its own against the Beatles' revolution. By 1967, Columbia Records urged him to modernize. He did with Up, Up and Away, a breezy pop-folk album that reached both the pop and R&B charts. Critics praised its freshness, and Mathis once again reinvented himself. He would keep doing so. In 1969, he recorded Love Theme from Romeo and Juliet, blending pop with orchestral film music, years before crossover genres became common. In 1973, he collaborated with producer Tom Bell on I'm Coming Home, an overlooked masterpiece whose influence later rippled through soul and R&B. By 1978, Mathis' career roared back with Too Much, Too Little, Too Late, a duet with Denise Williams. It hit #1 across multiple charts, his first since 1957, and went gold. The success led to a series of duet albums with Natalie Cole, Dionne Warwick, and Gladys Knight. That same year, his album You Light Up My Life went platinum in just 65 days, his fastest seller in decades. But behind the glamour, Mathis was struggling. Years earlier, a celebrity doctor had begun giving him vitamin shots, laced with amphetamines. To calm his nerves before shows, he drank champagne, until the habit became addiction. By the 1980s, he was spiraling. At a White House reception, Nancy Reagan noticed his condition and arranged treatment at a Jesuit-run rehabilitation center in Maryland. He later said her intervention saved his life. In 1979, he performed the Oscar-nominated duet The Last Time I Felt Like This with Jane Olivers at the Academy Awards, marking a triumphant return. But just a few years later, a careless moment nearly destroyed his career. In a 1982 U.S. Weekly interview, Mathis casually said, "Homosexuality is a way of life I've grown accustomed to." He thought the comment was off the record. It wasn't. The backlash was brutal. Death threats, canceled concerts, dropped radio play. America wasn't ready. Mathis retreated from publicity, focusing on music instead. "It bothered me that it bothered people," he later said. Decades passed before he spoke openly again. In a 2017 CBS interview, he said simply, "I've had some girlfriends, some boyfriends, just like most people." Those few words made him an unintentional pioneer, a quiet symbol of honesty in an industry that often demanded silence. Even as trends changed, Mathis endured. His 1998 album Because You Loved Me, a tribute to songwriter Diane Warren, reminded listeners of his timeless artistry. In 2003, the Recording Academy honored him with the Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award. By then, he had released more than 73 albums with Columbia and sold over 350 million records worldwide. And he still wasn't done. At 81, he surprised everyone with Johnny Mathis Sings the Great New American Songbook, produced by Babyface and Clive Davis. Covering songs by Adele, Bruno Mars, and Leonard Cohen, it debuted at #4 on the jazz charts. Critics marveled that his voice, silky, steady, and unmistakable, had survived time untouched. In 2015, tragedy struck when his beloved Hollywood Hills home caught fire while he was performing in Cleveland. He returned to find much of it destroyed but said calmly,